Hello, guys. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Natasha.
And we were wondering,
are you free for coffee?
Welcome, welcome.
Hey, guys.
Listen, do any of you guys watch Outlander?
I'm wondering because I know last week we talked about sex life, and I'm sure people have seen, Kim Kardashian's post, and by now Netflix post, and they've already seen it. Now, Outlander, how long has it been out, Lisa?
They just finished wrapping season 6,
okay,
and it will air in early 2022. So you guys have time to catch up. It's a Starz original production, but it's also on Netflix.
Okay.
At least seasons 1 through 4, I believe.
Okay.
Seasons 1 through 5 are on Starz. So you have a couple choices there to watch it. But if you like historical fiction, it is really, really good. What I really enjoy about it is the authenticity. Like the sets and the costuming is so great. And the series is adapted from some novels by Diana Gabaldon, and they're so well written. So you could read those too. And I feel like the series is very true to the books. Of course, you can't put every single thing that's in a book in a movie or
it doesn't always translate.
So it's, but it's really well done. The 2 stars, Sam Heughan and Katrina Balfe, have great chemistry. So it's just a very epic story. It's an epic love story. It's very actiony, swashbuckly, swords and fighting, that kind of.
I think it's a nerd's masterpiece. I don't know that you would consider yourself a nerd. I definitely
probably am. I don't know.
I consider, but you're more of a sexy nerd. I'm just a nerd. I'm just a plain Jane nerd. And there's this is a very small piece, but there's time travel. So yes, she's a nurse for the British Army in World War II.
Yes.
And then, and I don't want to give anything away. So if I sound
she travels back to 18th century Scotland.
So it's 1743.
Yeah. So 18th century. So that was my hurdle in watching it, because when I heard about it, I was like,
that did not appeal to you.
You know what? Time travel, and it just
that so cool.
Sounded like something I would not like. But for me, the time travel, even though it's an important part of the story, it's incidental. So it's not real heavy into that.
It's not the main thing.
Once you kind of know about that, it kind of fades into the background, and then all the things that are happening where she is take precedence for me.
Yeah. But the fact that it happens is still cool, because to me, because she has one life that she knows, right? Where she's this British Army nurse, and then next thing you know, you have an entirely different life,
right? In
1743. Well, that's a very different time frame. Everything's very different.
Yeah, that's kind of the story. Like I think the undercurrent running through it is this love is so epic that it transcended time and space, and I mean, I'll take a bullet for you both ways.
And I feel and that's all I can say.
That's what it is. I mean, it is just really, really, and they have great chemistry. It's not as cheeky as Bridgerton. Bridgerton had a kind of a lightness about it, and
you go to Promenade,
a little comedy. There was just a little just cheekiness with it. And that's Outlander does not.
Is Outlander more action?
I think so.
I feel like it is.
I think it is.
I feel like it's more action than Bridgerton.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Bridgerton, they weren't doing anything.
No.
But Promenade,
they had a duel. They had a duel and a boxing match.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
or a few boxing matches.
Outlander is much more action.
Yeah, when you get into swords, that's a whole different
thing. If you have a guy that's in your significant other that's into that kind of swords and that kind of stuff, he might enjoy this. Yeah, because the person that told me about it watched it with her husband, and he did enjoy it. So there's a lot of romance, but it's not just all the time.
And see, Bridgerton, that was the point. Bridgerton, the entire point,
the whole thing was romance.
The romance,
I mean, it's the main thing, but there's so many other things
that are
going
happening.
on.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well,
so
we're going to be watching.
You've got
time. Watching it to catch up.
Yeah. So you've got time 6 seasons, y'all. Well, 5 seasons to catch up. So, and I think each season is like 13 episodes. And
that's not too bad.
I don't know.
Well,
they're pretty intense.
It's funny. Speaking of, you said you didn't think that you would like it because of the time travel. Speaking of, for my life, we just traveled. We just came back from vacation. We went to Las Vegas, and that's not a very us destination. Like, yes, there are mountains in Nevada, but we are like mountains, cabins. We always see bear, elk. We're those kind of people. And so we went there, and something I did not think I would like, and it kind of maybe awoke a new love language for me, was we went to the spa. And it's very you. It's not me.
That is me.
I actually laughed because I was like, this is Lisa's love language. And it is not me, but I loved it.
Yeah.
Baby, it was worth every penny. So if you are traveling to, or thinking of traveling to Nevada or to Las Vegas, we stayed at the Virgin, which it was the Hard Rock.
Oh, okay.
And so it got bought by Richard Branson. They did a whole, remodel everything. Uh-huh. And the room, everything was so insanely comfortable.
Oh, wow.
The food within the hotel was really good. The spa was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. So we got the couples massage, and we added, it was called Oh Honey. And it was like for tired hands and feet. Because obviously we're in a bakery. We're always either kneading dough or fondant or something. And then our feet are always hurting. So we did that. And it made me think about our love languages topic that we were going to talk on today, because that is one I didn't think I would like.
Oh, yeah.
And so I guess my question, my return to home question for you was, do love languages change over time?
I don't know. I rated my love languages. Okay. I went in order. So my number 1 is gifts. And I remember my son asked me, so what's your next one? And I said, bigger gifts, because I really like gifts. And it is not the expense. Although, we all would like a Ferrari or something,
Yes.
Nobody's crazy. But more than that, it is that you paid attention. Like my daughter is really good at getting me gifts. Like she's gotten me classes and, just some little candy that she knew I liked, but it was wrapped beautifully. Like presentation is everything.
She put the time into it.
And that really touches me. For you that like gifts, FYI, I have a friend that would get the best gifts from her kids and her spouse. And I was like, nobody is that good. Like, you get the best.
Yeah, they hit the nail on the head.
So what she did is she started a Pinterest board with all ranges of stuff she wants, and they just go there and pick. So I did that, and my God, what a game changer. So I mean, everything from $5 up to the Ferrari.
That is really
so then they don't have to ask you; they just go on there.
Yes, and it still feels thoughththough, because they didn't just ask you 2 days ago, "Hey,
and they
Mom,
know
what
that
do you
want it, and it's a surprise because you don't. I mean, there's no like get this for my birthday.
I'm legit gonna do this.
Yes, it's a game changer.
So smart.
Yes.
So what's your next one? So your first is gifts.
A physical touch, and I come from a family that was not demonstrative, so that is hard for me to do. But yet you want that.
Okay.
So I need somebody that's kind of take charge.
Now we know why you were Team Brad.
Yeah, just grab you up, and hug you. My third is words. I do love words
of affirmation. Okay.
And it's not so much, I just like words in general. And sometimes I think it's hard for everybody to voice feelings.
Yeah.
It's hard, but you can write feelings. So I like words in any way. I love written letters and notes. And I think you can be so mushy and demonstrative on paper where you wouldn't be in person.
In person, I agree.
So I do love just the written. I love everything about it. I like, naughty words. I like, romantic words. I just like words.
So you like communication. You like people who can express themselves.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And then my last two are kind of like quality time. You want to spend time with people, but I think we talked about this in another episode. I enjoy my own company. Like I don't have to have people around me, and I need a lot of me time.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be all up on me.
Right.
So that's not like a big one for me.
So your final one.
And acts of service. Natasha and I have talked about this. Like what is that? Because the things that people put down for that, I feel like that's stuff you ought to be doing. Like what?
Honey, I took out the trash.
Right. Or mow the lawn or whatever. Isn't that your job? Like, so that is like way down for me.
And that's so funny.
way down.
It's not that low for me. And so when we were talking about it, I was like, well, now that you say it, this is true, but it's still not there. So my number one, and it does not mesh completely with my husband's number one, and that's a whole nother topic of knowing your spouse's love languages and meeting them where they need to be met. Mine is quality time.
Okay.
Now it could be I'm in the season of littles, right? So we don't get quality time. Yeah. There's always a small
hand. A deficit.
Oh yeah, and both of my kids were breastfed. They both self-weaned, and we're done. So I will probably never experience like weaning a child. But even still, recently, I was going to tell you this, I forgot. We came home from Las Vegas. The kids did not go with us. I stayed with a family member, and our son goes, milk. And we were like, good job. And he grabs my boob and pulls it out. And I'm like, whoa, wait, what are you doing? I said, but you don't drink milkies. And he looks at me dead in the eyes, milk. And he has a deep voice. My husband has a deep voice. I have a pretty deep voice to be a woman. And my son's voice is deep, even though he's one. He's just milk. And we were like, okay. And so quality time. And that's why I asked, do you believe it changes? That was not my love language before. It was not. But now it is my love. It's my jam. It is my thing. Like just some quality time. I'm like, yes, let's do that.
I don't know that mine have really changed.
Ever changed?
I think they get refined.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't really know until maybe you're missing a certain thing
yeah.
Or I think you just know yourself better. Maybe.
Yeah. And that's true.
Like, this, I need this. Or
mine is, my first one I said quality time. My second one is words of affirmation. That is definitely a big one for me.
Do you like written?
I do.
Just words in general. I think if you're a word person,
and it doesn't have to be sexy for me,
but it could be just anything. Words.
Yeah.
Words.
For me, and it doesn't have to be fancy or sexy. Like you don't have to go to Hallmark. I love that. I do love cards. But
do you?
I do. But the day we were getting married, things were just kind of, we run a bakery and we were crazy enough to make our own wedding cake. Worst decision ever. But so because of that, there were some serious time constraints. And so on the way out of the door, I noticed Cedric like snatched something. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, I wasn't supposed to see you this morning. I'm like, it's fine, So he took a sticky note and he wrote me this really beautiful note on a sticky note. And he puts it in the front seat of the car with flowers. Knowing and it's like one of my favorites. And this is not an $8 card.
Right.
It's not a papaya card.
It's that impromptu.
Yes, but
from
it was the words. Yes, and he has lived up to everything that he said. So I do love words. Now my number 3 is acts of service. Which ranks a lot higher than yours.
But with littles, I could see, because sometimes it depends too on the other person. Like, I have a friend whose husband cooks.
Yes.
He cooks every day. So she's really appreciative of that because she doesn't.
And that's kind of his act of service.
Right.
Yes.
So I could see, it just depends.
So when our children were born, Cedric was like, you are literally producing, like you not only grew the child, you're now producing milk to like keep them alive. So he was like, I will change Poopy's diapers. You shouldn't have to change Poop because you literally are the
You're
reason.
doing everything else.
Yes. And so like that was a huge act of service.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I would have as many kids as you want if you
do
this. And he does it. He handles vomit. I sound like a bad mom, but I don't like vomit. It makes me throw up. So then there's everyone's sick, and it's one day said our youngest threw up and it hit my mouth. Ugh. And I lost it. Well, then my daughter saw it and then she threw up.
I have a cast iron stomach now since I've had kids and grandkids.
Mine it's getting better, but I mean that hit my mouth and I was just like
thrown up on.
I just lost it. But the funny part was now all three of us are standing here and I'm crying because the whole situation's gross. The baby's crying because he has acid reflux. My daughter's crying because mommy's crying and everyone and my poor husband was just like, okay, all of you get undressed.
Where do you begin?
I didn't ask him.
Everybody
I didn't ask him. We threw all his clothes away. We literally just everything was done. And so I guess he does acts of service really well. And so it works out that it's something that matters to me.
Well, especially when if there's something like that you hate.
Yes.
I could see that. Yes. If there's something and that they will do
and they pick it up. And I don't mind poop, but I mean, when you have littles and you're breastfeeding, you're trying to work, you're trying to do this.
No one
loves. No one's like, oh, I want to change poop. Yeah. Except for my acts of service husband. So my fourth one is physical touch. And that one, it's weird. It really ranks higher for me, but if I have to go in order, that's kind of where it falls.
Some of them are tied.
They are. I mean, we have two kids, obviously. Yeah. And my last one is your first one, which is gifts. I don't know.
Why? I guess I'm materialistic. Maybe I don't know.
But I don't think that you are.
It just speaks to me. Like, okay, like if you forget my birthday, or like, an anniversary or something like that, just
rubs you the wrong way.
It really does. Because
and not that I don't like gifts.
You just. So what happened with that?
But see, to me, a gift is quality time. Like, and I know to you, you're like, no, it's not. But
I need you to make an effort. You know what I mean? I think that's what it shows. It is not the gift, kind of. Oh, you want what you want, but it is.
I want to know that you cared enough to do this.
It's the effort that you put behind the gift.
And you're right. See, that's where some of these kind of tie.
Yeah.
Because to me, like the spa. We were going to see a show. We were going to see Usher on the opening weekend.
Yes.
And I kept going. I was like, I don't know what time, because we were there for a wedding. So we ended up missing the opportunity to see him. And I was like, oh, man. And, it wasn't a gift, but it was a gift because I would never have spent this money. My husband's a quality person, and I just grew up we both grew up poor. I just knew it and he didn't know it. That's really different. We grew up, I knew we were poor and my husband had no idea they were poor. And so it's shaped his spending habits and quality, which is really good because I'll just buy something cheap. And he's like, no, let's get a quality version. So when he was like, let's just go together. We don't have any kids. Let's eat where we want to eat for lunch and let's get a massage. I was like, that sounds great. Like, and he knew me well enough to know that I needed that. Yeah. Well, it's kind of a gift,
Oh yeah, that's a great.
I'm not going to say the price. I want you to drive up Virgin's their hotel. I want their SEO to go up. Go check the price. It was a gift. It was a gift for sure. But it was really nice.
Yeah.
And I guess I didn't think of it as a gift, but that is a gift.
That is a gift.
That's a gift.
Yeah, because my daughter has gotten me, like. Classes, it's not a tangible there, but
those are. But
it was
fun.
So great, and then she knew me enough to know that, and then she heard me say, "Oh, I want to take such and such a class," and so that's what it is that you're seeing, and that somebody heard you. Because a lot of times you just talk about random things like that. You know what I'd like or something, and you're just talking. Yes. I mean, you're not expecting anybody to do anything about it.
So funny thing, I got in an argument with someone at the airport, and
oh gosh,
I'll let my husband. No, thank God. I'll let my husband tell you more about it. But I went back to get you a cup towel, and they were letting the gate down, and I was like, "That's fine, I'll pay cash." So she starts to tell me she can't, but then she lets someone pay cash for water. I was like, you just let them pay cash? Just let me buy that cup. So I'm like almost belligerent because other people are coming up with cash. And she's like, well, no, it's just a drink. I'm like, it's a cup towel. It's $24.99. I'm going to give you $30. do it in the morning. You know, I was just so angry. But the point is, I remembered, I know your love of cup towels.
Oh.
And I was like, she needs this cup. And so I think that is the point in gifts.
It is.
I hate pointless gifts. Don't just give me something.
And it's a feeling when you get it that you're seen.
Yes.
And that they heard you.
They knew you well enough to know.
Yes. It's the whole shebang. It's not so much the thing.
So are you like a item. Flowers, like flowers every week girl, flowers on holidays?
You know, in my younger days, I would say, oh, don't get me flowers, because I just saw it as, like you said, when you have littles, you just see where else you could use the money.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather just give me that $100, you know. But and so I just got out of the habit of it. You know, like I don't want flowers. I don't want to, but I do like flowers.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So I don't know what got me into, I guess, really my husband.
Do you have a favorite flower?
I do. I love tulips. They are my favorite flower. I love plants.
Oh, okay.
I'm a plant person. So my favorite plant is elephant ears.
Oh, yeah.
And I love lilies, but I am horribly allergic. And so I love them. They're beautiful. I love when they open up and your house smells like them. And then every orifice closes up. And so Cedric, he tried to figure out my favorite flower. So he got this huge, beautiful, it was just the prettiest bouquet I'd ever had that really I'd ever even seen. That wasn't like in a building, you know, high-rise building. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I didn't have the heart to tell him I was allergic to lilies. So I take a nap. He gets a haircut. He comes back. We're supposed to go on this date. He goes into the room and I am like snoring. And he's just like, oh, okay, that's different. And so he said he went to check on me and I was burning up. So he's like, hey, are you okay? And everything is swollen. My eyes, my lips. And he's like, oh my gosh.
Note to self.
So I don't know if he called my sister, my mom. I'm not sure. I don't remember what it was. But he was like, I have to get you out of here. So I had a friend that was a neighbor. So he's like carrying me down the hallway, go to the friend's house, pump me full of Benadryl. That he happened to have liquid Benadryl, thank God. So I start getting better. And he's like, what's wrong? And I was like, I'm allergic to lilies. He's like, what? And so he goes, I'm like, don't throw them away,
and
please.
They put those in every bouquet.
And they put them in every bouquet.
Because they're so big and they're
space filler. They're beautiful. They have a good smell. Yeah. So he learned then that those don't work for me. But I love them.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was trying to sneak and smell some at Kroger. We just bought flowers yesterday.
I love hydrangeas.
Ooh.
And I do, and I like peonies. And they have such a short little
peonies.
Yes. I have some in my yard. And I mean, they bloom, and if
then they're
blink,
done.
You'll miss it.
You've missed it, yes.
You know, they don't last long.
So I do love the look of peonies. I use them. I used to use them on every cake. I was like, peonies, calla lily. You know, this is all I want to use. But they don't last. They just
but that's what makes them so special, I think.
That's true. That is true.
Just you have just a little window.
So do you like roses?
I do like roses. I like them in the yard more.
Yes.
You know, I like them growing more than I like them.
I know that sounds bad, I'll pass.
Yeah.
It's not my jam.
I love lavender roses. I think are so pretty.
I agree.
I really think those are pretty. But yeah, I mean, I get roses sometimes. Or use them in an arrangement when I do them.
If it's Valentine's and they're on sale, I'll take, for sure.
Or Trader Joe's, because Trader Joe's has them for like $6.99 a dozen, every color. So I do.
It was a few weeks ago.
Not my favorite though.
They had little small bouquets, like the mini, but they were beautiful. So I got a couple girlfriends. I dropped them off, and one of my friends, she has 5 littles, and that's just a lot of little kids and. She's great. She owns a bakery. She owns Ashley Baker Bakes.
Oh,
which is
love that name.
I do too. And we'll tag her on Instagram. She does amazing cookies, and she's a dream mom. She really is. Like, she genuinely is. But I was like, I'm sure you would like flowers. So she wasn't home. Her husband was home. He was like, she's going to love these. I was like, thanks. And so, yeah, that was my thing. I gave it to a couple people just to cheer, because their flowers are gorgeous. Even their peonies are not that expensive.
Yeah, nothing at Trader Joe's. They have the best plants. They had some little succulents, some itty bitty tiny succulents.
Scarlett has one.
They were like $1.99 or something. I was trying to justify it, but I was like,
you need it.
Know. Yeah.
Now, I love succulents.
Yeah.
I love them.
We
may do a Trader Joe's episode.
Yeah. Don't you love Trader Joe's? Y'all have a Trader Joe's near you? If you do, you should go.
And if you don't, did you move away and miss it? I have a friend that moved away, and any chance she gets, she's like, could you ship me this? I'll send you the money. Hey, I sent you this on Zelle. Could you go get that? And I'm like, you sent me money? You know, and then I look, sure enough, she sent me money. And I'm like, what do you want? And for a long time, it was everything but the bagel seasoning.
Oh, yeah.
Which is amazing on avocado toast.
Theirs is the best. Yes.
Theirs is. I tried another one. I'm not going to say the name, but I was just like, no.
It'll pass, but it's not the same.
It's not. No, not at all. Yeah. Well, guys, it was so awesome getting to come back from vacation. I guess I feel like I've been gone perhaps longer than I was, and kick it with everybody. Stays in Vegas. That's some of it should. I'm glad we didn't do an episode covering that. Vegas is, it's
pretty wild.
It's an interesting place. It's very hot and very interesting, but it was great to just to sit down and record. Yeah. I was excited. So I was like, yes, this is awesome. So that was great. We will tag. Oh, we forgot one thing, but we will tag anyone we mentioned.
Oh, no.
But I won't forget our Sexiest Man Alive this week. Oh, I already know who you're going to pick.
Oh, no, did you?
In my head. Who are you going to pick?
Kevin Costner.
Where did that come from?
Well, okay. Since we were talking about...
I was so wrong, guys.
Outlander. There's another show, Yellowstone, which I kind of would describe it as Sopranos meets Pioneer Woman.
That is true.
It's very, just way different. But he's in it. And he is pretty sexy, y'all. He has aged really well.
He has aged well.
And he's just that rough, gruff, but with a heart of gold character that he always plays kind of the same person to me. Kind of, sort of.
When you said it, my mind immediately went to The Bodyguard.
Yes.
Like in my head,
yes. Yeah.
I just went to Whitney.
He's always been so cute, but he's really cute. And the show is really good and different, and that's another one you could catch up on.
So mine is not a show. This is just going to be someone who is probably forever handsome to me, Antonio Banderas. Thinking of people who have been in the industry for a very long time.
With a wonderful accent.
Yes.
Accents are sexy.
They are. Yeah. So mine is going to be Antonio Banderas. Yeah. That's for sure. Yeah. Yes, I'm glad we did not forget to do our Sexiest Man Alive this week.
Yeah, you got to have a little something to dream on.
The fun part is it's going to change next week.
Right. You just have them for a week. It's
That's
just a
it. It's just for a week. Yes.
Perfect.
You make me think of when you said Kennedy was dating someone, and then by the time you got used to it, it's like, oh no, I'm over them.
They were pretend dates.
They were pretend.
This was when she was a teenager, tween.
I changed my mind. That's not who I want to be with. It's like, okay,
yeah, because I'd be like, oh, I saw, an article or read something or saw something about XYZ, and she said, oh, we broke up.
That's right.
Like, okay.
Well, here's a fun little fact. I just to see his handsome face, I looked up Antonio Banderas. He just posted to Twitter about a week ago with hashtag Kevin Costner at Play It to the Bone premiere. And it was for Throwback Tuesday.
Okay.
Or Throwback Thursday, that's right. So it's so funny because you said
Serendipity.
Yes. And one of my other picks, I'm trying to remember if I picked him already. I picked him in my head, which is Woody Harrelson. Have I already picked him?
I don't think you have. No.
Oh, he'll be mine coming up. Well, he's on here too. So I was like, there's three of
my guys, all my boyfriends,
at one place. And do you want to update them really quickly on your buddies, J-Lo?
Oh, you guys, they're still going strong. They're still going strong. In fact, they are going to be on the cover of People magazine.
Are they really?
This week, yes.
Oh, Lord. You have such hope for them.
Yeah, I do.
And the only reason I look at
anything. Eternal.
Only thing I look at is like, oh, okay, let me totally see if they're together. Like, I only look in thoughts of you.
I don't know if this is true, but I read somewhere that the first time around, their issue was she was ready to really... He proposed, so I guess he was ready to get married, but he wasn't so much ready to, settle down. There's my raggedy clock. I know you would miss it. You know you would miss it if it didn't.
So she wanted the kids.
Yeah, the whole thing. And he was not ready for that. he wasn't ready for the kids and all that.
Because didn't she marry Mark Anthony right after and have kids?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
she did. And he had kids, but a little bit later.
Yeah.
So that's not an issue anymore.
No, it's not.
So I could really see how, like,
I saw a post
issues
with
have been worked out.
And I was like,
and
there's Lisa's
hope
people.
Springs eternal. I'm rooting for him, y'all. I am. Invite me to the wedding.
Okay. Actually, she is a fabulous designer with a portfolio. So I'm going to pitch that because wouldn't that be cool?
Oh, I would help know. You. I'd be so stressed.
I
couldn't do it. But yeah, I would just want to sit and see what everybody else did and what everybody was wearing.
Yes. Yeah. That would be fun. Well, I think that is our show this week. Yeah. That's it for this week.
Thanks for stopping by, guys.
It was good to chat with you. Please make sure that you're following us on Instagram, which is Are You Free for Coffee? And pretty soon in our the line where you can put a website, we will have a link to show everything that we love. Everything from links to Trader Joe's, to recipes, to outfits, to fashionistas. We'll have everything there. And that way, anything we've mentioned, you can look at it in our little digital Rolodex. Until next time.
Thanks, guys.